We are back, and we have to talk about some World War III news. Tensions are at an all-time high in the Middle East and in Ukraine and Russia. All the while, there is an US election with two assassination attempts against a presidential candidate, Donald J. Trump. Let's begin in Israel. Israel has used the October 7th Hamas attacks that they knew about in advance to justify all-out war against her enemies. Not only have they been bombing innocent civilians in Gaza, including Christian churches, but they also launched attacks on Lebanon. On September 17th and 18th, Israel killed 32 people, including 2 children, and injured thousands of innocent civilians after detonating communication devices that were allegedly used by Hezbollah. These included pagers and walkie-talkies. Israel has been conducting aerial strikes on Lebanon, not just attacking Hezbollah targets, thus alarming the Lebanese government. Hezbollah has been launching rockets in retaliation against Israel. Back home in the US, the Trump campaign is blaming Iran for the assassination attempts on Donald J. Trump. Trump is once again listening to the war hawks that want to pull the US into war with Iran on behalf of Israel. Do not forget the faulty intelligence that our great Jewish ally, Israel, gave the US about Saddam and the WMDs. Now we are supposed to believe that Iran is brazenly attempting to take out a presidential candidate? It seems as if Trump is playing right into the hands of Israel. Now let's segue to Ukraine and Russia and the United States. We are used to hearing about Russian interference in our elections, but it seems apparent that Zelensky of Ukraine is interfering with our election by visiting Kamala Harris, the Indian or black presidential candidate in Pennsylvania, which is a swing state. He also casted doubt on Trump's ability to end the war in Ukraine. Kamala expressed that there are those that want Ukraine to give up territory to Russia, which she disagrees with. So after campaigning for Kamala, Zelensky receives $8 billion in aid. The war must go on in Ukraine, and more Ukrainian and Russian deaths will occur to save democracy there. Yet Zelensky is still in office past his term. He is a dictator. There is no democracy there. The government of Ukraine has also been taking over Orthodox Christian churches and even forcing Orthodox Christian priests to go to the front lines in battle. This should piss off every Christian around the world, that a Jew is leading Christians on the battlefield to watch them die. So we must remind you again that Zelensky is Jewish, so the bloodshed of Orthodox Christians mean nothing to him, as it meant nothing to the Jewish Bolsheviks. The West has backed Ukraine to strike into Russian territory, risking a Russian response that could pull NATO into war. It's like all the leaders have gone mad at our expense. It seems as though both US candidates are potentially leading us into a greater war. If Trump is elected, will we go to war with Iran? Can we even make it to the election before global war occurs and the US gets involved? If Kamala is elected, will the war in Ukraine continue indefinitely until NATO perhaps has to intervene? What we do know is Americans are wavering on war and are tired of the same old excuses as to why our tax dollars should be given to the foreign nations such as Israel and Ukraine, while our country is starving, beaten, and our economy is crumbling, while Netanyahu and Zelensky sit comfortably with their billions. How many more wars will we fight on behalf of Israel? And will we ever have an American nation that is American first? Or is it always going to be Israel first, or Ukraine first, or let's just spell it out, Jewish first? That's all for today.